Versatile Mage. Chapter 576. Assembling Signal. With a great crack, the fierce bone undead general's lower limbs broke into pieces as the thunderbolt swept past its legs. Its body simply collapsed under its own weight. The fierce bone undead general fell to the ground as it lost its support, like a building made of stone crumbling down. "So your lightning seed has a space trembling effect," exclaimed the leader joyfully as he alertly noticed something out of the ordinary. Anything fragile was unable to withstand high-frequency vibration. Mo Fan's thunderbolt was not aiming at the fierce bone undead general, as it was not strong enough to inflict any damage to its sturdy bones. However, if the thunderbolt swept past the fierce bone undead general nearby, it would vibrate the space and the ground nearby, resulting in a shockwave that would shatter the fragile frozen lower limbs of the creature. Since the fierce bone undead general's legs were destroyed, its body alone could no longer pose any threat to the team. Meanwhile, the frost had penetrated deeper into the creature's body, freezing the remaining joints of the immobilized creature. As frost completely covered the creature's body, another heavy blow alone would simply shatter it into pieces. "Mo Fan, you're so damn good." Zhou Ming's eyes flickered, the typical behavior of a young girl adoring someone. "Hey kid, are you seriously just a student? It's rare to see a student able to defeat powerful creatures so cleverly," the leader complimented him sincerely. The team returned with glory after defeating the warrior-level undead. There were many magicians on the walls, although most of them were basic magicians. They noticed the battle not far away while defending the walls against the undead. They initially thought the team would be forced to withdraw as the fierce bone undead general was extremely strong, yet to their surprise, the team managed to defeat it so quickly. Impressive, very impressive. The fierce bone undead general is almost as strong as a big skeleton general, yet you still managed to defeat it. Complimented the hunters close to the walls. "It's all thanks to this new student." The leader humbly patted Mo Fan's shoulder. Zhao Kunsen and Wang Pangzi never stopped complimenting Mo Fan either. Zhao Kunsen, a typical vengeful person, immediately spoke in a weird tone, unlike someone else, who likes to criticize people when he's totally useless. "All he did was cast some ineffective spells. I could probably do the same too." "Yeah, that's right," Wang Pangzi added. "I told you, having a higher level doesn't mean you're good at killing demon beasts." Interesting colors played over Jiang Li's face. He had a strong urge to simply tear the two's mouths apart. However, it was true that he did not contribute much. He could not find any words to rebuke their accusations, and could only glare at Mo Fan. Zhao Kunsen and Wang Pangzi were so vengeful that they kept paying back the grudge they bore against Jiang Li 10 times over, and he ended up leaving in anger. "Was that a bit too much?" asked Mu Bai. "I don't think so. You shouldn't be too merciful against people like him." Mo Fan thought Zhao Kunsen and Wang Pangzi did a great job. "My score is going to rise a lot after killing the skeleton general, hee. Zhou Ming was in a great mood. Not only was she able to receive the same amount of resources for the month, she might be rewarded with more instead. Mo Fan smiled, too. As he was about to speak, his side glance caught a glimpse of the walls being covered in a huge blood-colored glow. The blood-colored glow was followed by a loud bell ringing, which echoed over the outer walls, startling everyone. "What was that?" Mo Fan asked, confused. "Something big has appeared. That was a warning," explained the leader. "Something big?" asked Mo Fan. The ringing of the bell lasted for quite some time. It kept people alert, as if it contained some unique power. "I don't know. That's the signal for us to gather together. It's asking all the magicians who were not on duty to gather on the north wall." The leader raised his eyes and watched a few white lights flickering in the sky. Mo Fan had also seen the white lights, which were shining brightly like fireworks. He was not from the ancient capital, so he had no idea what the signal meant. "It feels like something is happening. They need support from magicians," added Mu Bai as he glanced at the long walls. "Let's head over. I haven't done anything today." Jiang Li was eager to show his capabilities. 4 signals in a row. That means it's an emergency. The girl who's injured should stay here. Everyone else will head over at once. They must have trouble getting people over in time. Hence they were forced to use the brilliant light to signal the others, hoping the intermediate magicians nearby could lend a hand, deduced the leader sternly. Mo Fan, should we go and take a look? Asked Zhou Ming. The signal was similar to an SOS. Normally, it was up to the magicians to decide if they were willing to help, but when the signal consisted of 4 consecutive flares, the magicians from institutes, magic associations, the Hunter Union, and renowned families were obliged to lend a hand. Those who purposely decided not to help and left would be expelled from their respective factions. People won't use assembly signals in normal circumstances. Something big must have happened, said Mu Bai. Come, let's go. To the tower on the northern walls. The main tower of the north walls was located at the entrance of the northern walls. The tower was a lot bigger than the corner towers. It felt like a magnificent pagoda standing firmly atop the walls. The assembly signal was fired from here. When Mo Fan and the others arrived, the place was already crowded with magicians. Most of them were basic magicians, based on the badges they were wearing on their chests. There were only a few intermediate magicians available at this time, as most of them were currently on duty. Students like Zhou Ming, Mu Bai, and the others were considered special kinds. All magicians in the intermediate level and above should gather at the top of the walls. The others will remain here on standby. A loud voice rang out, echoing in the ears of the magicians. The few intermediate magicians immediately made their way up into a hall that was open on both ends, where they could see the darkness looming over the vast land in the distance. Are these all we have? Asked a deep voice. A man with a beard and an extraordinary temperament walked down from the stairs leading to somewhere higher in the tower, followed by a royal guard and a commander. Greetings, councilman. Greetings, councilman. A few intermediate magicians who were fairly active around the area immediately greeted him respectfully. Mo Fan glanced ahead. He immediately recognized the person just by the beard. His eyes widened. Councilman Zhu Meng was glancing at the group of magicians too, and his eyes also widened as he exchanged glances with Mo Fan. It's you again, the kid with bad luck. Councilman Zhu Meng was stunned for a second. I did feel like it's quite bad luck to stumble into you, replied Mo Fan. How bold. The commander glared at Mo Fan when he saw the young magician being disrespectful. Zhu Meng waved his hand. He had gotten used to being scolded by the daring kid back in Hangzhou. He never assumed the kid would respect him. He did not continue on the topic, as it seemed like he had something urgent to say. However, the leader, Zhou Ming, Mu Bai, and even Jiang Li were looking at Mo Fan in bewilderment. They could not understand why Mo Fan, who was only an intermediate magician, would know someone like Councilman Zhu Meng. Chapter end. Please guys like, comment, share, and subscribe.